Every year from August the 1st till the 7th, we observe World Breastfeeding Week to highlight the importance of breastfeeding and the need to provide support for nursing mothers. The World Health Organization, along with UNICEF, recommends that children start to breastfeed within the first hour of birth and exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months of life. For more perspective on this, we're joined by Dr. Katlego Malete, who's a Paediatrician at Life Dalview Hospital. Dr. Malete, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I guess, why are more and more mothers opting not to breastfeed?
Good evening, and thank you. It's an honor to be on the show tonight. Sure, I think the topic of breastfeeding, unfortunately, has become more and more unpopular as the years have gone by. We know that, especially with the time of HIV and post HIV and the number of HIV cases, over the years, I think breastfeeding has become less and less common, and of the fear of transmitting HIV also to unborn children and to our babies. With all of that, the topic of breastfeeding has unfortunately become very unpopular. So we do find that most mothers, or some mothers, less and less mothers, fewer mothers, are exclusively breastfeeding. In other words, giving only breast milk and not supplementing with other alternative feeding.
And also, if you could just give us the benefits as well of breastfeeding. As I mentioned in my intro as well, you know, the recommendation is that the first hour of the baby's birth, immediate breastfeeding, but also for the first 6 months at the very least. What are the benefits of breastfeeding?
Wow, where to even begin? The benefits of breastfeeding, we can talk about benefits to the baby. We talk about benefits to the mother. We talk about benefits to the world, to the nations in general. What we know is that babies that are exclusively breastfed, that are given breast milk only, in the first hour of life, we actually talk about breast milk being the initial vaccine that a baby gets. In that first hour of life, the first milk that comes out, which is called colostrum, is so rich in proteins and so rich in minerals and nutrients that it can literally sustain a newborn baby's energy levels and their energy requirements early on in life. The nutritional benefits of breast milk is comparable to none. What we do know is that malnutrition is a big problem. In children under the age of 5, malnutrition is one of the most important causes of death, and that are associated with many causes of death. So nutrition to a baby in the first 5 years of their life, especially from birth up until 12 months, breastfeeding plays an important role because it meets more than half of the nutritional requirements, of a baby's nutritional requirements. It helps them to grow. Breast milk, what we know is that it causes better brain development. That means smarter children, not just in the way that they grow, reaching their developmental milestones, but these are children that do well in school. They are the good learners. And in actual fact, studies have shown over years and years that children that are breastfed, they actually end up getting into jobs, earning higher incomes, okay? And so these are children that contribute also to the economical benefit of the countries. So those are the benefits to children. It prevents illnesses. It reduces the risk of children getting ill from the most common illnesses that we encounter: diarrhea in children, chest infections, repeated admissions into hospital. Breastfeeding, we know that breastfeeding reduces the chances of a baby suffering from such illnesses. And that is just not even touching the top of the iceberg. What is the benefit to the mother? It encourages bonding with the baby. It encourages the mother to spend more time. We call it rooming in. They are able to better adapt to a parenting environment. Yes, even though breastfeeding can be challenging, but it is often more affordable than having to supplement or to feed a baby alternative feeds. The benefit of breastfeeding also to mothers is if a mother exclusively feeds, it actually contributes to better family planning. It can form part of a prolonged, we call it an amenorrhea phase, where a mother does not menstruate for a period of time while they are breastfeeding. So it allows for mothers to plan their pregnancies and plan their families as well. It reduces the prevalence of ovarian cancers and breast cancers. And these are cancers that women, especially in their reproductive age, we do have increased risk of developing at that time.
Sure, Dr. Malete, as you're just going through all those benefits as well, and you're mentioning that it's only just the tip of the iceberg, it seems like almost a no-brainer if you're able to do so and aren't suffering and don't live with, something like HIV or something like that. But when we look at television advertisements, as well, we see that those milk formula companies use advertising as well to seem more attractive as well, to be an attractive option. And when I'm listening to you, I'm thinking this is a good competitive ad to the milk formula companies, but we don't punt the natural way of it, the breastfeeding. You don't see an advert talking about breastfeeding, but you will see an advert talking about baby formula.
Absolutely. So in actual fact, if we take a few steps back and we really look at the topic of these infant formulas, the truth is that a lot of infant formulas will tell you they use breast milk as a benchmark. They use breast milk and the components and what the ingredients, I want to say, and the benefits of breast milk. They actually use breast milk as a gold standard. So if you compare formula milks to breast milk, you'll actually see that there will be a lot of similarities. Formula milk tries to give you the same amount of proteins and carbohydrates and fats, lipids that is usually and naturally found in breast milk. So formula milk is very inferior to breast milk. And I think that is what the information that needs to get out there is giving formula milk is giving an inferior form of feeding to infants. What is happening at the moment, and yes, you're correct, there is some advertising done by formula milk companies, and there's going to be a lot of implementation going to be occurring, where there is going to be quite a reduction in the amount of advertising towards encouraging the use of formula milk, because what the World Health Organization wants and UNICEF is encouraging is to actually increase the amount of children that are exclusively breastfed, because of the benefits that it has both to the mother, to the child, and also to the community at large.
So basically, would it be able to take the stance that, South Africa has also banned in several other countries, for instance, tobacco adverts? Right, so would we perhaps along the road somewhere see ourselves at a place where milk formula companies cannot advertise on mainstream media?
It is possible that we might be going down that route. That's correct.
What are the other factors that hinder mothers from breastfeeding? Because, I was reading something by a dietitian from the Association for Dietitians in South Africa, and she was saying that mothers struggle with solvable solutions when it comes to breastfeeding, such as engorged breasts, low milk supply, and not knowing proper breastfeeding positions. So these are mothers that could be breastfeeding their babies but are opting not to, and there are solutions for them. What are those solutions?
So first of all, a lot of mothers utilize health facilities at delivery. And the encouragement is, especially in every hospital, right? There's a lot of implementation of the breastfeeding friendly hospital or facility. And in those facilities, there are certain protocols that a hospital is encouraged to implement. So certain things like within the first hour that a baby is delivered, they should be made to come close to the mother, put skin to skin, and that encourages breastfeeding to start. Also, assistance with latching positions. So a lot of guidance that should be given and made available to the mother as well. Look, we encourage that mothers should attend antenatal care classes, prenatal care classes, even post-delivery, that mothers should be given the guidance and the encouragement to breastfeed, because it does not come naturally and easily for a lot of people, for a lot of mothers. The other challenge that mothers tend to experience is when we are during that reproductive phase or age in our lives. A lot of us are working mothers. A lot of us are, we're trying to climb up the corporate ladder, or we've got, we have responsibilities that we need to keep up with. And yes, we might be given an opportunity to take 3 months or 4 months of maternity leave, but we do have to go back to work. And the fear comes in where, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to go back to work. And does that mean I need to stop breastfeeding? Does that mean I shouldn't even start in the first place? Those are a lot of questions that we end up asking ourselves. And then when we do go back to work, often we find ourselves working in an environment that is not encouraging us and allowing us to breastfeed and exclusively breastfeed as well. We might be working in an environment where there is very little privacy. We can't express during the day, or even the expectation that you need to leave your desk for about 30 minutes or 40 minutes in a day to go and express so that you can store up your milk. It does become quite challenging. So those are a lot of factors. Those are some of the factors that we often have encounter when we are exclusively breastfeeding. And yes, engorged breast, that all comes, unfortunately, it does come part of the, it's the challenges, it's the package that comes with breastfeeding. And a lot of times if we have support, if we have someone holding our hand and saying, listen, this is doable. You can actually do this, and this is sustainable. You can do this for the next 12 months. Often we're able to continue breastfeeding for even past 12 months in certain situations.
Well, Dr. Malete, you have done justice to highlighting the importance of breastfeeding, and we appreciate your insights and your time.